I've been having some fascinating conversations with Nathan Betts, who's an apologist with the Ravi Zacharias International Ministries here in Canada, one of the great apologetics ministries in the world today. And we have been bringing his knowledge along with Tim Keller's knowledge, bringing them together as we've been featuring all this month of November, The Reason for God by Tim Keller, Belief in an Age of Skepticism. So many questions that you're helping us process as we get ready to dig deeper into this book. We get into this tension, especially in the last 100 years in North America, of the Bible versus science, and the Bible is inconsistent, or science is inconsistent with the Bible, and science is so advanced that this ancient book has now been disproved. So has science disproved or discredited Christianity?
It's a very good question. Stephen Jay Gould, the late scientist at Harvard, once said, science deals with reality, religion deals with everything else. So here we have this idea of, as you're saying, science is, it must be antithetical to God. I think when we look to the roots of science, take a historical glance of actually, the people who actually practice science, we find out actually whether or not this is true. C.S. Lewis actually said it very well. He said, men became scientific because they expected law in nature. And they expected law in nature because they believed in a lawgiver. What is that telling us? It's telling us actually that science actually was practiced and studied not despite of faith. In many cases, actually, it provided the foundation. Faith in God provided the foundation on which many practiced science. You look at people like Galileo, Newton, Boyle, Kepler, Pascal. They were very clear in saying that their faith in God was the foundation on which they practiced science. I have many friends who actually are studying science because of their faith. I studied under one scientist now at Oxford, and now a senior colleague, John Lennox, who would say, look, it was because of my faith that led me to do science, to practice science. Now, we have many friends. I have many friends who actually are atheists, who are studying science and are scientists. But I would challenge that and say it's not because of science that they do not believe. It's more of a faith belief issue. It's not because of the sciences.
Well, in chapter 6 of part 1 of this book, Nathan, Tim Keller basically has this subject, this chapter, where the skeptics, the presupposition is this: science has disproved Christianity. And so we tackle this, and you tackle it as you're out lecturing and debating. This is something we need to be well-versed in, and to be able to know how to respond with the faith that is within us. And so I hope that you will echo with reading what you've heard here from Nathan in the book, The Reason for God. And I want to encourage you as well with Nathan and what he's doing with Ravi Zacharias Ministries, is that he's going to be at the People's Church, church I used to pastor, in a congregation I love very much. He's going to be there this coming January 24th. That's at a Saturday from 9 to 4. And they're going to be holding a conference called Big Deal Questions that I think would reinforce as well what you read in this book and what you've heard in this segment. Nathan, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for being with us.
My pleasure.